Welcome back, everybody. My name is freaking Frank, but you can just call me Frank. In today's video, I want to talk about what the title suggests, which is why that games in general should cater to casual players rather than pro players or even just streamers or content creators. And I have I think a pretty decent reason as to why they should do that. And here's my reasoning behind it. If you have a major game that you're making, like let's say 2K for instance, since this is the game I'm playing right now, it makes more sense to cater to, in my opinion, to cater to casual players, at least for pure enjoyment, which you can already tell they're not doing it for pure enjoyment anyway, but it just makes sense to cater to them because if you have someone working a 9 to 5 and then they get home to play the game and then they have to spend roughly $20, $50 after they've already spent around 60 if it's on last gen, which is PS4, or next gen if it's PS5, that doesn't make any sense to have to spend an additional $50 to then upgrade your mod player just to be able to play online. Now this wouldn't be a problem if spending money on the game wasn't so crazy. This wouldn't be a problem if you could just easily earn the virtual currency in the game. But it is because it's not easy to earn that virtual currency at all. When you play a game, you roughly get about like 500 or so VC each game you play, whether it's a My Career game if you're playing on Pro or something like that. And even when you play the game itself, you don't earn an additional like crazy amount from your performance of the game. You might earn maybe a few hundred or 200 extra VC. Now this isn't a lot because you actually need like 100,000 VC just to be able to fully upgrade to maybe about an 85 or a 77. I'm not sure which of the two it is, but you need about that much to get to those two overalls. And then once you get to the higher stages of these said overalls, you need more than that amount to get to a 99. So let's say you're at, I believe, a 94-ish or somewhere in that category. If you want to be able to get from there to a 99 overall, it'll cost about 200,000 VC, which isn't like reasonable like whatsoever to need 200,000 VC just to get all the way to that overall either. The reason why is because you can't even earn roughly enough within their regular offline modes, like even within the game one I'm playing right now, or even in my league or my career, you can't earn that much. You can't earn roughly that amount. Even if you play in my league, I believe you only get about 1,000 VC a game. So to say that you then have to play, and that's if you play on 12-minute quarters. So to say you have to play 12-minute quarters of my league, play 100 or 200 games just to be able to gain that much VC, just to upgrade a My Career player, that's unreasonable to like a large extent. Like really unreasonable. Like the whole goal that I had was to try to play the game, but I forgot to put into account that 2K just has ridiculous microtransactions and it's like nearly impossible to play if you're not going to spend extra money on the game, which I'm not trying to do because I already spent 70 on it because I'm on next gen. So the fact that I would have to pay an additional like 100 or so dollars just doesn't make any sense like whatsoever at all. The next thing I want to get into is skill-based matchmaking and why that should most definitely remain in games. Whether or not, I don't know if they're getting taken out or not. I just heard it in like the conversation a little bit on Twitter and everything like that. And I want to say like I guess when it comes to skill-based matchmaking, it's easier to talk about Call of Duty since that's like the main bread and butter of it all, I guess. The whole thing with Call of Duty is that almost everyone pretty much has a general idea on how to like play the game in a sense, I would say. But the problem with people wanting to take it out of skill-based matchmaking is that really all they're saying is that they want to be able to I don't know why I said that. They want to be able to get 70 kill games in like one lobby or whatever the case may be. Like it's always people that want to be able to go like outrageously crazy and not play against people their own skill level, which would inevitably hopefully make them better at the game, but they don't want to do that. They just want to be able to get 70 kills, play against people who worked all day, come home and just smoke them on the game while they've been playing probably all day or close to that if they got home from school around 2 or 3 or something. When people are getting home at like 9 or 10 and they just want to be able to play casually and not have to worry about sweats like killing them or even if it's just pros or whatever the case may be. So putting people in that skill-based matchmaking makes sense. Like I don't know why there's this like idea where people just constantly want to take out the whole idea of skill-based matchmaking as if there aren't people who literally don't play the game for anything necessarily the game. Like they might just play literally just to play with friends after getting off work. Like that's like the biggest thing. Like that's being a casual player. It's not being on the game all day. It's being on the game for like 2-3 hours and all that stuff. Like that's like a good majority of people who are like playing the game, I would say. At least casually. Maybe if you want to go to like a little bit higher of like maybe they're on a little bit longer, like on an off day, like 5 or 6 or something like that. But like it shouldn't have to be to like that extent to where they have to play all day just to be in a certain lobby that's not going to be filled with people just severely and like crazily like much better than them. Like that shouldn't be a thing. Another thing too is that, in all honesty, if you're going to be streaming or if you're going to be like a pro at the game, I wouldn't see any reason for you to like want to play with anybody that's worse than that or play with anybody that clearly plays the game just to legitimately have fun. Like I don't see why you would want to play against people when you clearly could be doing way better or whatever the case may be. So I hope skill-based matchmaking definitely stays a thing. I think that it's like it's easily like better in a sense of ways. I can see like the downfalls of it sometimes, where sometimes you might want to like be able to somehow, I guess like in a way, get a warm-up in or something like that. Like that's the only way I could think why people would say that. But even then, it's like after like 2 games, like how many more games do you need to like actually warm up and play the game? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have to say. That's why I believe that games should cater to casual players or people who are playing about 5-ish hours a day. Maybe that's a little bit more than casual, but that's why games should be playing more than that. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment your opinion on this, subscribe. I would appreciate it. I do go live on this channel like every other day or so. I'm trying to get more consistent. So yeah, be sure to check me out later today, like the day I upload or whatever the case may be. So yeah, peace.